What is up, DMV basketball fans? Welcome into another Believe in DMV Hoops. I'm Matt Moderno. I've got Greg Jones here of American University joining me here today. Greg, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. This is perfect time to talk here. You guys are coming off a hard-fought win over Lafayette last night. I got to ask you, I don't know, is that getting stressful for you guys? You have a knack for pulling out these close wins. So, I don't know, walk us through that experience being a part of a game like that.
We've had so many games like that now so far, so it's kind of a usual thing. So we don't really feel the stress because we've been there so many times. So obviously it's really stressful for the fans, and everybody's like, "Yo, like y'all don't got to do this every time." But I mean, if we've been there so many times, so no one's really fazed in those moments now.
That's great. That's what you want, especially going into conference tournament time. You're going to have those moments in these big games, and not every team is ready to go and play in that kind of environment, that kind of setting. So, should give you guys a pretty good leg up, I would think.
Yeah, no, it does, and we practice with situations all the time in practice. So our coaches do a good job, making sure that we're ready for those things to happen. Down 5 with a minute left, like any type of situation, they make sure that we're prepared for anything like that.
That's awesome. Love it when preparation pays off. Before we get too far into this, we're brought to you by Stateside Vodka and their Surfside Hard Iced Teas and BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds from everything from NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC, you name it. For every three-pointer, hat trick, BetOnline has you covered for odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. All right, so I buried the lead here a little bit. You're having a great year, over 10.5 points, over 4 rebounds a game, about an assist, about a steal. Shooting 41% from 3, which is awesome. Almost 90% from the free throw line, which is really cool to see too. I just been mostly healthy until recently here with a little foot injury. Just how you feeling? Give us a little update on that.
I'm feeling good. The foot is fine. It had like a little turf toe injury, so just sat out 2 games just to make sure that pain wasn't gonna, dwell into the later weeks. So just precautionary reasons to sit out. Obviously we lost that Bucknell game, and then we got a good one up at Lehigh. So still in first place in the Patriot League. I'm healthy. I'm feeling good. So nothing really to worry about now.
That's awesome. You guys won 9 of 10, which is really cool to see. That Bucknell game was obviously a tough one, but they're a good team playing in their place. I think it shows the importance of getting that home court advantage, in Patriot League play. And you guys are 9-1 at home this season. Just talk a little bit about that home court advantage that you get at Bender Arena.
It's huge, like you said. Like that's obviously what we're fighting for right now. Having home court throughout the whole playoffs. That would be like the biggest thing. The Patriot League championship running through Bender. So we feed off of our fans. Our fans they show great energy every game. Always have really good crowds. And like those close games, like you talk about, like when we're in those close games and we hit a big shot or we get a good defensive stop, like the energy from the fans gets us going a little bit more. And it just makes us even better in those critical moments. So home court is huge for us.
As a shooter, which anybody shooting over 40% from 3 and about 90% from the line, you qualify as a knockdown shooter. Anything to like the soft home rims or anything? Like, is there anything about shooting on like your friendly home court that gives you a little leg up there too?
Not really. I think I shoot better when I'm
on the road.
When I'm on the road for some reason. I don't know why, but like Holy Cross, I shot well for some reason. Bucknell, I usually shoot well at. Like, I don't know. I feel like at Bender, I don't shoot as well, but I don't know. I guess this year it's kind of been I've been shooting well wherever. So
you're just saving it for this playoff run here. All the threes are going in for the home games.
Yeah, hopefully. All
right, that's a good plan. I like that. I don't know. I don't want anybody in the Patriot League to get mad at us, so I'm going to ask this question hypothetically here. If you guys are involved in a game where you feel like maybe the whistle is not going particularly your way, like may or may not have happened in the last week or so here, what's the message from the coaching staff in a situation like that?
Just keep playing. Like obviously, we know what you're talking about. Just keep playing. We can't control stuff like that. Like there's always going to be games like that. The refs are human too. So, there's if there's a game like that, like we just gotta just keep it pushing, do anything we can to prevent them from making calls like that. So obviously it's hard, and some guys react different ways, but it's just all about just staying together as a unit and just keep doing the things that we do. That's really all.
I think that's also good practice. You'd rather have, a whistle like that during the regular season and know how you're going to deal with it and how people will respond in that moment for, if it does happen in a playoff game here, which hopefully it doesn't. But I don't know. Is that a game you guys go back and watch film of after, or you just throw the tape out after a game like that? Because it's got to be just hard to like really take any meaningful, lessons from something like that.
I mean, there's always, teaching points and things in the game that we can take away. Like not every play was, a bad call. There was some things that we did that we can control. So there were some, teaching points that our coaches gave us, but there were a lot of questionable plays, questionable calls that, it just didn't go our way. But the thing is, like, we still came out and won the game. And that's really a sign of a really good team. And that's what our coaches were preaching to us, like after the game. Like, it wasn't perfect. The calls weren't perfect, but we came out and found a way to win. So that's what really good teams do.
We talk a lot about this on the show with college basketball here. Like getting old and staying old in college basketball has a lot of advantages. And when you have older teammates like you do, these guys have seen these kind of moments before. You're very mature and wise beyond your years as just a sophomore here, but these guys have probably had that exact same experience, somewhere along the way. What was the message from some of the veteran guys out there when things maybe weren't going the way everybody would have liked?
It's really just a calm, cool, collected mindset. Like no panic. Like we're fine, we're good. Because you could have a bad call and you could still be up by 1 point. Like a bad call won't change the score. A bad call won't change the whole outlook on the game. Like, so it's really just our veterans making sure that everybody keeps their cool. No one loses the vision. No one loses, what our end goal is, and that's trying to win the game. So, they do a really good job. Link, Colin, Rodgers, they do a really good job just making sure everybody stays together. We're huddling up at all times. Everyone's on the same page. So a lot of credit to them for that.
We've talked about the mindset and just how you guys approach the game here, but is there anything specific from like, I don't know, X's and O standpoint or a technical standpoint that's allowed you guys to kind of pull out so many of these close games? Is there something you think you guys execute particularly well on that helps you, down the stretch of the game?
I mean, I think down the stretch, it's really just our coaching, our play calls. Coach Simp has amazing play calls for end of game situations. He knows who to get the ball to. He knows, who's hot, who's in a rhythm. Obviously most of the time it's going to be Rodgers. But even when it's not Rodgers, like Rodgers does a great job finding the open guy and, making that one more pass. Maybe a shot that he could take, but there's another guy that's more open, has a better shot, and he passes it up. So I give it a lot of credit to the coaching. Coach Simp does a really good job. Coach Jack does a really good job with the defensive schemes at the end of the games. Maybe tweaking one or two things just to give the other team a different look. And just our guys, my teammates making the right play at the right times. We have a lot of unselfish guys that no one really cares who gets the last shot. No one really cares who, makes the game-winning play. It's just all about winning the game. So that's really what I would say.
You mentioned that kind of trust factor there and guys being willing to share the ball and having trust in their teammate to do the right thing with it. You mentioned your shooting here this season. You're scorching the nets here a little bit. Are your teammates encouraging you to shoot the ball more? Anytime you're over 40%, it's like it's a good shot for the team. Are you hearing that more from your teammates and coaches?
I'm always hearing that. I was hearing that last year when I wasn't shooting the ball well. So, we encourage everyone on the team to shoot when they're open, because everyone on the team is more than capable of shooting at a high percentage. So I definitely have, heard more guys tell me to shoot the ball more, and I have, try to shoot the ball a little bit more. But it's still always about taking the right shot and making the one more pass if needed. But that's definitely been a common theme this year.
I think that goes to the way you play. You're playing the play the right way, trying to be unselfish. And sometimes it's like, we actually kind of need you to be a little more selfish here, because I think for you present a mismatch on the court here in a lot of these Patriot League games. There aren't a ton of guys that your size and athleticism that, can stay in front of you, but you're also quick enough to get by, these bigger guys, bigger than some of the guards. So like, I don't know, is that something you have to kind of figure out for yourself like that balance of when to be aggressive and not?
Yeah, that's really just feeling out the game, like feeling out what type of defender I have on me, how quick the guy is. If the guy's shorter, I can shoot over him. If the guy's a taller, slower guy, then drive past him. Certain closeouts, how guys are standing. I'm still, figuring all out. I watch a lot of film with Nate, our offensive coordinator, and he helps me a lot. But I'm still getting the hang of it, and just trying to be a smarter basketball player. And yeah.
I think that's really probably the biggest jump I would imagine in year 2 here is just, okay, now I am a more integral part of the offense and things like that. Like, when do I choose to attack? When do I do those things? For you, especially as such a great free throw shooter, like, I would be tempted to just try to get to the rim as much as possible and hope I can end up on the line. But you also want to shoot and space the floor and things like that too. So I don't know, just is that film study really kind of the best way for you to pick those spots and figure out, what your shot diet should look like?
Yeah. Like just seeing the type of team we play. Like if a certain team is in gaps, certain team is non-gaps, if a certain team is gonna, deny certain people, then that'll open up lanes. All these teams in the Patriot League are different. So it's really just before the game, watching, our defensive personnel edit on the other team's defense and just figuring out what little like nicks in the defense that I can kind of exploit and see what I can do with them. So like I said, like every game is different, which is why my game is pretty good, because one game I can shoot it from 3 and really hurt a team there, or another game I can get to the free throw line and really hurt a team there. So it's really different every game for me, and it may not even be scoring. It could be other things, rebounding, playing defense. So that's kind of what I try to take into every game.
Yeah, not to get lost in this, you're also a very good defender too. So I think that's a great advantage for your team to have, is somebody that can be versatile like that. And I'm sure that's nice for your teammates and makes you fun to play with for them too. Mentioned is a veteran team here. You as a sophomore guy, they seem to have a lot of trust in you. Obviously you've had to earn that trust along the way here too, but I don't know, does that make you feel good out there on the court knowing that these guys, like, they want you to do those things and want you to attack and stuff like that?
Yeah, no, it's really good. And it's really good from a mistake standpoint. Like I know if I make a mistake, that I'm not going to come right out the game. Like I'm gonna keep playing. I'm gonna keep playing hard. I'm not gonna let that mistake, compound and make 2-3 more mistakes. And it's really good to see my teammates, and my teammates trust me a lot more. They're encouraging me a lot more, and it makes me a better player. And even if they don't realize that, it gives me so much more confidence and so much more willingness to do things that I wasn't doing last year. So. Yeah.
It's actually the exact next question I want to ask you. You look more confident out there this season. Is that just a product of being more comfortable playing college basketball, your role on the team, just kind of understanding, the game and the speed of it and the physicality of it? Is that just, last year you dealt with the back injury too. Is that partly just being more healthy this season? I guess what's been the biggest shift in that confidence for you?
I think all those things that you said, like the back injury, I wasn't feeling great at all. But still, like, realizing and understanding college basketball, it's a lot different than high school. In high school, you can just go out there and score, play defense, not really have to be in tune with the game. But in college, I've realized that everything matters. And like the speed of the game, the flow, the quickness of guys, the strength, different things you have to do if a guy is just as athletic, just as fast as you are, different things you have to do to try to get that edge. And just realizing all that. And so last year was really a learning year, like I've been saying. And this year I feel like I've put it all together and really taken a good jump, and I'm getting it. Still haven't gotten it fully, but I feel like I'm starting to really understand how to play and how to adapt to college basketball.
Mentioned you're averaging about 10-4, 1-1 here this year. Last year you were about 3-2, somewhere in that ballpark. That's a pretty big jump. This is a meaningless accolade, but just for you, for the podcast here, we're going to do DMV midseason awards here. And Greg Jones, you will be our most improved player in the DMV here for this year. So you get nothing out of it. There's no trophy. I'll give you a high five next time I see you or something, but I really have had a lot of fun watching you play this year because of all those things we talked about. So the hard work's definitely paying off. I think people notice that, and you hear that from teammates and fans. And a lot of people have come up to me like coming in and out of the elevator, going to the parking garage, like, "Hey, can you get Greg back on? We really want to hear about what
Well,
it's been like for him this year." So good
well,
stuff.
thank you. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. And hopefully next year we can have the same jump. So
That's right. I'm looking forward to it. And you do have a lot of guys graduating from this year's team. So they're going to be relying on you and Matt and guys like that to take another jump next year, I would think, here too. So that'll be very interesting to watch.
yes.
The last podcast we did, you mentioned that Lincoln especially was somebody that kind of took you under his wing a little bit, playing similar position here, like he, kind of shared some knowledge. Are you paying that forward with any of the rookies from this year's team? And if so, who's kind of your rook?
I don't know if I would say I've been paying it forward, just because I think this year I'm starting to like figure it out, and I'm not really a veteran guy yet, so I don't feel like I'm just there yet where I can be given wisdom, because I don't fully know it yet. But I always try to encourage our younger dudes, Eric especially. I know he'd be getting a little frustrated when he makes mistakes, and it's really just about telling guys, like, you're going to make mistakes in college basketball. Like, everyone makes mistakes, like, especially when you're a freshman. Wyatt and Julian, they make mistakes all the time. And it's just about the reaction you have after, how you're going to respond to it, if you're going to let that, dwell on the next play. And so it's for me, it's really just about when they make those mistakes, how they're reacting, if they can have a short-term memory and forget about it and just move on to the next play. But as far as paying back to any younger guys, I don't think I'm like that old of a veteran yet.
That's next year. We're saving it for one more year here.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I think that's fair. But that is good advice though for them, and I especially feel bad for Eric sometimes because he is a big dude, but he's more athletic than some of the guys he's matched up with. I feel like he gets an especially unfriendly whistle here sometimes because he can do things that maybe they're not expecting him to be able to do, or block a shot and not foul and stuff like that too. So that's a great lesson for him to be able to just, kind of ride the storm here a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, we got six or seven freshmen coming in next year. So I'll have to
there you go.
guys under my wing next year and really teaching them. So
That's
maybe
right.
we'll get on this. I'll tell you about another story with how me and Lincoln were.
I like that. That sounds good. All right, I'm going to put this on the list for next year's pod here too. Mentioned it's really cool just to see the hard work paying off. Is there, if you had to pick out like one specific thing that's been enabled you to make this jump, and I mean more so from like a skill perspective, is there, I don't know, my ball handling's tighter this year, or it's my shooting's a little crisper. Is there any of those kind of skill things that you feel like have helped you have this kind of jump?
I think for me it's confidence in shooting. I would say one, confidence is just last year I didn't really want the ball. Like, I didn't really want the ball at all. I tried my best to kind of stay off the ball because I didn't believe, I could really do much with it. And obviously I can't be seen like that. Like, I can't go out there and just be scared of the ball, run away from the ball. But in my head, I was like, I don't want the ball. I don't think I should be dribbling. I don't think I should be shooting. But so this year it's a lot different with the confidence standpoint. It's like, I need to be shooting this. I need to be getting to the rim. I need to be, making a play for my teammates. And I would say is the biggest thing. And then the second biggest thing is the shooting. The 3-point line is a huge difference. I didn't even realize it from high school to college. When I got here, all my shots were short. It would take a while to adjust. And I think me being able to shoot like I've been able to is really extended my game. Guys have had to guard me out on the perimeter, and so it makes both aspects of my game, my shooting and my driving ability, very, very active at all times. And it's a lot easier to play when you have both of those things going. So I just think confidence and shooting is definitely the two big things.
When you do have to adjust to that new 3-point line, is there like a form change at all, or is that really just repping it out and getting like comfortable from that particular range?
Yeah, it's just repping it out, just getting used to it. That's it. Yeah, just getting used to it, because it's a huge difference. I really feel it when I go back and shoot at my high school and shoot a three. It's like, wow, like this is a huge difference, even though it doesn't seem like it. So
I shoot a relatively flat shot, so when I play on a high school court, I'm fine from that distance. Moving to the college line, it's like, oh, okay, I got to really like mentally lock in here to shoot it from further out. So I'm sure for you guys doing that as much as you are, it makes a big difference for sure.
yeah.
Talking about free throw shooting here a little bit, I mentioned you are ice cold up there at the free throw line, just short of 90% on the season here. I don't know what goes through your line when you walk up to the free throw line, late in the game and you've got to knock down some free throws.
Nothing. There's nothing going through my mind, and I kind of make sure I don't think about anything. I'm just looking at the rim, looking around, looking at my teammates, making sure we're all on the same page of what we're doing defensively. Because when you start thinking, that's when you miss. When you start thinking about, if I shoot this too long, shoot it too short, like that's when you miss. So I try not to think about anything. So yeah,
that's great advice from somebody who is very good at this. So anyone younger listening to this, that's an up and coming basketball player, take that to heart because this guy knows what he's talking about here. Just Greg, anything else that you feel like AU fans would want to hear about from the team? I guess you guys are. Your objective for everybody this year was to try to win the Patriot League. You guys are well on your way here. Not to fast forward through the rest of the season, but just how are the vibes? How's everybody feeling with things?
Everyone's feeling good. We're having one of our best seasons in the past decade so far. Our fans continue to show out. We got a big doubleheader on Saturday with the women playing at, I think, 12:30. We play at 4. And so just my message to the fans is just to keep showing out. Like, we love having big crowds. We love all the energy. We love seeing you guys at the end of the games, talking to you guys. So we'll go as far as they go. And, we're all in this together. And, we love our fans. And then just the locker room, great vibes. Our coaches, they keep making sure we don't get complacent with winning all these games, making sure that, the end goal is still what we're going for, that winning games is not just what we're here to do. We're here to win championships. So they do a really good job every day on just making sure that, the winning games is cool, but, we still have that goal at the end that we need to fulfill. But everything's good. We got 5 more games left.
I think 5, yeah, something like
that. 5. So
you know it better than me. You might be right. I can pull this up in real time here for anybody that wants to hang on for a second.
But yeah, everything is good. Everything is going well, and everyone's happy. So that's all I could say.
Yeah, no, that's what we want to hear here. For anybody listening to this that hasn't been to a game yet, Bender is a cool arena. I think it's the right size and that crowd, it feels loud in there. Like you get a good energy to it. So I think you can kind of feel that.
The perch is an awesome addition this year.
Yeah, very true. That's been cool. And folks having a couple drinks in them, get a little fired up for the games is not the worst thing in the world here too. Get a little that rowdier energy here. You're channeling the Philadelphia Eagles vibe a little bit at the end of that last Army game. Got a little ruckus, which was cool.
Yep.
All right, you got Loyola on Saturday, Army, BU, Navy, and Colgate. So 5 left, and then the Patriot League tournament starts on March the 4th. So that'll be exciting. And yeah, Greg, it's just been awesome, man. Like I said, obviously, I root for you guys anyway, but it's just cool to cover and see nice person like yourself have success, and just keep working hard, man, and looking forward to seeing where the rest of the year goes.
Appreciate you. Really, really do. Really appreciate you. Love being on here. Love talking to you. And, we're going to keep this thing going.
I love it. All right. We'll do one of these when you guys make this playoff run here, and then we'll catch up after the fact. All right, everybody. Greg Jones, I will tag your socials and all that stuff for people here to follow if they're not already. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please click that like button for us. We always appreciate that. Rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff, and go out and see these guys play on Saturday against Loyola.
Yep. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, everybody.